It's my final year. I grew up a big UVA sports fan. My family's had season tickets since the 80s. The team means a lot. I grew up coming to games, grew up with my family, and then especially after the tragedy last year, I feel like the least that we as fans can do is support, and so I guess I'm trying to do my part going to all 12.
12 UVA football games, nearly 6,000 miles of travel while managing a full course load. Meet UVA superfan and fourth-year student Luke Lamberson, who has traveled to every single UVA football game this season from Miami Gardens all the way to Virginia's Scott Stadium in Charlottesville. Your journey has been to attend all 12 UVA football games. How did you come up with that idea?
To be honest, it kind of started as a joke. I had plans before the year, knew we were playing in Nashville. My family was going to that. We were super excited for that. And I knew I was going to go to UNC with my roommate. So I was like, 8 out of 12. Like, I'm a fourth year. This is my last chance. And then I was at the JMU game, which was week 2, joking around with my family. And then I got invited to the Maryland game. And I was like, that's 3. And then Boston College was over our fall break. And so I kind of lobbed out Boston fall break anybody? Kind of thinking that was going to be the end. And then some people bit, and we went to Boston for fall break, and then all of a sudden I was like, okay, 2 away, and then Miami, surely it's going to end on Miami, who's going to fly down to Miami during Halloween weekend. Then one of my buddies, Luke Stone, he was like, I'd go to Miami with you. He had a house down there. We went to Miami, and then, you can't go to 11 out of 12 football games, right?
With 11 games planned, Luke booked a flight to Louisville for the final away game, causing him to miss classes once again.
To be honest, I wasn't a huge fan of it. Just knowing his course load's pretty challenging. And so I was worried about, the time he was going to spend doing it. But I quickly realized, he had put in the work. He had put in the work to be able to afford to do this financially and, with his time.
Drove for the first 4, and then shout out JetBlue. Miami flight wasn't bad at all. It was like $100, $150 or something. And then the Louisville flight was more expensive, but at that point, I was pot committed, 11 out of 12. I had to complete the challenge.
I came around when I realized that he's always wanted to do it. This is his final year at UVA. He wanted to make it he really wanted football to be special. His feelings were for the team, with everything the team went through. Luke has a real, kind of bond with him, I think, through all the tragedy. He absolutely loves the team. He loves the players. He loves how they don't give up, which, we all do.
While traveling to every game, Luke is also managing a rigorous course load as a double major in math and commerce.
Honestly, I think it's made me try to utilize my time in Charlottesville much more effectively, trying to, doesn't let me goof off as much, and I've got to really sit down and get my homework done when I mean to, and just trying to get ahead on work.
It's a matter of priorities. I feel like there's a lot of students, sometimes myself included, that are like, I don't know if I can make it to this basketball game. I have an exam tomorrow. His attitude is more like, I don't know how I'm going to do on this exam tomorrow. I have to make it to this basketball game.
As Luke's final game as a student approaches, Luke will have the opportunity to share the game with his friends, parents, and grandfather, who is the first UVA fan in the Lamberson family.
My grandpa, like I've mentioned, the reason I'm a UVA fan, he has multiple myeloma now, and he's in his 80s, so he's going through chemotherapy and hasn't been able to make a game since the 2019 Virginia Tech game. And so I'm super excited. He's going to come out to that one. He's going to come to the tailgate, hopefully come to the game. So it's going to be really cool to kind of have him there in attendance at his first tailgate with me as a student. That's going to be really exciting. Have all my friends there, our last home football game as students. Definitely going to be an emotional day, and hopefully we can get a win on the field.
So that's going to be really special. It's one of those things for Luke's last game as a student, gets to share that with his grandfather. It's definitely going to be a special game for us.
Given the opportunity he had to go to every single game, I feel like for him it's, a sense of finality and like a true final test of his dedication to the Hoos.
What does your grandpa think overall about this whole thing?
He thinks it's awesome. I think he might be my #1 supporter for my trip. He's definitely happy that I might not have another chance to do this in my life. I probably won't with a job or hopefully a family one day. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make all 12, so this is my one chance. And so I think my grandpa and my family in general are big supporters of me trying to check this off.
With Virginia Tech on the horizon, Luke will cement his 12-game quest as the Hoos look to take down in-state rivals Virginia Tech in the 104th meeting of the Commonwealth Clash. I'm Aidan, WUVA.